I'm Casey Hott, and you're listening to Troy Holden on the VO Life.
Hey, welcome back. It's the VO Life. I'm Troy Holden, and these are your short editions for summer, sometimes called summer shorts. Not even sure we're going to name them. We're just going to let the podcast roll on as usual and shorten them up because we're all busy. A lot of you, your kids are home now. You don't have time to listen to 30, 40 minutes of rambling and, get to the meat and potatoes and, give me the dessert and we're done and we're out the door in 10 minutes. And it's that way sometimes. That's just the way we have to move. This week's going to be short and sweet, of course, just like we said. And we're going to talk about all the aspects of success really quickly. What makes you successful in voiceover? What makes anyone successful in anything? It comes down to talent. It comes down to drive, ambition. It comes down to execution. But how do you get there, no matter what you're doing? All right, so let's roll this into being a voice actor versus being a car salesman. And why in the world would you pick car salesman? We'll get there. It's coming. So let's look at it from the aspect of you don't just walk into a car dealership and become a great car salesman right off the bat. You need to learn. You need to know the product. You need to train. You need to be great at customer service and talking to people and all of those things you've got to do to be prepared. You need to understand the financing and what goes on with that and how the warranties work and how the service department supports your customers that you're selling. There's a lot to learn. But there's always that one guy that the third week he's there, he's selling 3 cars a day. And you're like, what the crap? If you've ever sold cars, and I haven't, but if you ever have, I guarantee you that happens. A guy comes in and sets a woods on fire and he doesn't really know a lot. Why is that? Because he's the unicorn. There's always a unicorn. Always there's a unicorn. More than one sometimes. But sometimes that burns out and it's over, or they burn out because they get tired of it quickly. But the ones that sustain, that are there for the long haul, and they move up and they promote and they become the sales manager or the general manager or whatever, they are the ones that learn the business and they're good at it and they know the answers. They know what's going on. And I think voiceover is very much the same way. I think anything is. You have to have talent, drive, determination, ambition, but you've got to have education. And you have to be of the mindset that this is going to take a while to become great at it. You might be good right out of the chute. That doesn't mean you're going to start booking jobs. It also doesn't mean you should get disappointed that you're not booking jobs. The competition out there, folks, is deep. I run into it every day. I have been overly blessed this year so far that I am landing better jobs, higher paying jobs, and I'm not having to work as hard. That is due to the fact I have planted seeds for a little over 3 years. And, the first year and a half, it was educational things. I did a lot of workshops, a lot of training, a lot of practicing, and I'm still coaching. I just had a session last week. I have another one coming up week after next because I'm trying to expand and grow, and I don't want to get stale, and you can get stale. I'm coaching in a different genre now. I'm coaching in documentary / narration / in-show, but even though it's different, there are some similarities and there are some things I could apply to my commercial reads and make me look at them a different way. And that's what I'm trying to do, is make sure my point of view, that I'm drilling in to the proper point of view and able to execute. That's very important. So what I want to hit on the hardest today is patience, because doing this the right way, and I know people are sick of hearing this, but doing it the right way takes so much patience. This is a very slow-moving thing. Do not get, just totally sidetracked that I've been doing this for 6 months or a year and I've not booked hardly anything. That's not unusual. Now, not anymore. Paul Smith, shout out to Paul this week, who said, please, people, quit putting up these things that, in 30 days you can be making a living in voiceover, or please quit promising, you can do this many sessions and get a demo and you're ready to go. Nobody knows how long it'll take you to get ready to do a good demo. And I'm still seeing a lot of people put up a website and a demo that aren't ready, and they shouldn't. But fortunately, maybe not a lot of people are going to it and seeing it, and they're okay. I really want to encourage you to not do those things until your coach or coaches that you're working with say, all right, let's get her done. And that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes because we want to hurry. We are in a society of instantaneous satisfaction, instant service. We want to go through the drive-through, grab the voiceover bag and go home with it, and we're ready to go. And it just doesn't work that way. And I'm coming up on 4 years in the industry, and I'll be starting my 5th in, I want to say September. Sometimes I like to say July, but really it's more like September. But I started the journey looking into it hard, in June, July of 2020. So I'm 4 years in, and I'm going into year 5. And I still am nowhere near satisfied in what I can do yet. I know I can do more and do better, but I still have to learn. And I feel like I'm in that break point now where I'm starting to see the better work. I'm starting to book at a better ratio. And it all comes with experience and learning and digging. And that's what I've had to do. I have really, really had to dig hard. And I will admit, and I tell people this, and I probably shouldn't, that this last, few months, I'm not putting as many hours in, but I'm making a little more money, but I am still planting a lot of seeds. Marketing wise, I'm expanding and learning, changing. I just started in with Nimble a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't shut down my other method yet, but I am transferring everything into there, and I'm doing it one genre or group at a time. And I just got one done yesterday after 3 days of going back and forth with the files and not being happy with how they uploaded, and it didn't populate the right fields, and they weren't named the way I wanted them, because I wanted this thing to be across the board to where it was, once I got them in there and everything was tagged, I could easily go in and do messages, emails, etc. to people. So another step, I was using less annoying CRM, and it was fine. It was okay, but there were things I could do or things I could see when I was using the demo of Nimble and working with someone else who was already using it, that it would probably benefit me in the long run to make the swap. And it wasn't that much of a difference in money. Nimble's pretty affordable. It wasn't bad. For some reason I had in my mind it was $100 a month. It's not. It's nowhere near that. So if you're still looking for a CRM, take a good hard look at Nimble, and there are a lot of people using it, and you can use those resources to help you. I would not be a good resource yet. I don't know it that well yet. I'm still working on it. In a year maybe, but right now, no. Back to our subject really quickly, and we're going to wrap up pretty quick here. I talked about talent, drive, ambition, determination, all those things. Yes, you have to have that passion, but please don't get in a hurry. Take your time. Learn, practice, and practice well. Here's a controversial thing I'll say really quickly. If you're going to go to workshops, do not go to peer workshops. That can hurt you. When you're all in there giving each other advice of what advice that you've gotten somewhere else and that's not really helping things. You need to be working with somebody who's running the workshop. Let them be the person giving the feedback. Even if the other people in there don't agree with it, you need to hear it from the one person. And, even workshops or anything else, there again is one person giving an opinion, even if it's an educated opinion, because they know what they're doing and they're booking and they have a good ear. It's still an opinion. You might could do that same read for me, and I might not give you that opinion, right? It's just like auditions when they come into a casting agent or whoever. They are going to have an opinion of what they like. And it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's just what they like. And they're trying to help you see that and give you that information and that guidance to where you can apply that. And, it all comes down to script interpretation, being a part of it, having that point of view and sticking with it, choosing that feel or that whatever you're going to do, building that story before you get into the copy, all of those things. And how quickly can you process all that and do it and read that and go, oh, I'm going to do this. And then you commit and then you go. And you got to do that quickly in a workshop sometimes. And that's kind of hard because usually a cold read, you don't even read over the copy sometimes beforehand. So you're not really sure what my point of view is going to be. Am I going to be the family member or the hospital administrator? Am I going to be the policeman that pulled you over, or am I the judge in the courtroom? You know what I'm saying? You got to really pick the place, pick the person, pick the scene. And sometimes that's hard to do in a workshop. But peer workshops, I'm just not big on it. I've just heard and seen things in some of those that really frustrated me, and I'm just not a fan. You do you, but I'm not going to recommend it. Speaking of workshops, if you would like to come to a workshop, I am doing a workshop on June 27th at 6 o'clock Central, 7 Eastern. It's called the Pick a Card Workout. And what we're going to do is help you choose that point of view and what you would look at in the copy to help you choose that point of view. And it will also give you the opportunity, you'll get the opportunity to read twice. It will be not just a real quick thing for you to run through, because we're going to talk about, all right, now I want you to give me a take two, and I want you to pick a different card. And we're going to do that to where you can hear the difference in the two reads and apply that to when you're auditioning if you're doing a second take. And also help you make the best choice out of the shoot on what you're going to do. So it's kind of like, the old thing where somebody opens up a deck of cards and say, hey, pick a card, any card. Well, you need to know which card you're picking, and you got to work toward that. And I'll work with you on that process. To do that, you'll get to read and get the feedback, and you'll take something away from it. And as always, the money-back guarantee stands. If you come out of that workshop and the next morning you send me a text or an email or a message and say, look, I just really got nothing out of that, I'll send you your money back. No problem. I don't want anybody to come to a workout and feel like I got nothing. You'll also get a handout in the form of a PDF that you can refer back to of the things that were covered in the workout. And I hope you'll come. 6 spots are open. They're all open as of today. So sign up next week. It'll be next Thursday, the 27th. We'd love to have you, or I'd love to have you. There's no we, it's just me. But think about it and come on in. And that will about wrap us up for this week on the VO Life. Remember, learn, practice, learn, use your talent, your drive, your ambition, your passion, your dedication. Put the time into it you can. If you can't put a lot of time into it, make sure the time you put in is quality time. Listen to podcasts, be in groups, learn the business, learn the lingo, learn it all. And when your time comes, it will come. Hang in there. You can do it. You got this. And I'll see you next week right here on the VO Life.
This podcast was produced under the authority of the Podcast Police, who may or may not have investigated the host and guests prior to broadcasting. Any unlawful statements will be investigated further and persecuted to the fullest extent of the podcast law.
Well, whistle me, Dixie.